Of course.
Yeah.
What kind of circus is this?
I know it's crazy, but this is an oversight committee or a hearing. But all right, though,
So
let's
where
get
are
right
the
back.
questions at, right? Like, that's how you
Yeah.
provide oversight. You say, hey, what about this thing that you did over here? Not, you're a horrible person and everybody hates you.
Literally, and everything you're doing is wrong. And it's like, all right, so where's the questions again?
Right.
But all right, let's get back to it.
UCs
like
as receipt, several UCs
like
as receipts. I'd like to have unanimous consent to introduce the National Security Presidential Memorandum 7 dated September 25th, 25.
Objection.
The Bondi Department of Justice memo dated December 4th, 2025.
Objection.
An article from Newsweek entitled DOJ Deletes Study Alleging Rise in Far-Right Terrorism dated September 18th, 2025.
Without objection.
Notice article from October 3rd, 2025. Trump's directive on organized political violence could lead to increased surveillance of his critics.
Without objection.
Washington Post article, September 25th, 2025. Trump targets domestic terrorists, but only mentions the radical left.
Without objection.
Idaho Capital Sun, October 18th, 2025. Rest easy, Idahoans. The No King demonstrators are American patriots.
Without objection.
Attacks on freedom of speech, what nonprofits need to know, published by the National Council of Nonprofits, the largest network of nonprofits in America.
Without objection.
The Freedom from Religious Foundation warns that Bondi memo weaponizes federal law enforcement against non-Christians and dissenting viewpoints.
Without objection.
Wow.
A Ken Klipperstein blog from January 28th, 26, ICE's secret watch lists of Americans.
Without objection.
And an Intercept article from February 2nd, 26, Trump calls his enemies terrorists. Does that mean he can kill them?
Without objection. The gentleman
you.
from Florida is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Attorney General Bondi.
Good afternoon.
Oh, you're right. Good afternoon. It's been a long day. I wrote this morning. We've known each other a long time, and I'll always be appreciative for your assistance when you were Attorney General in Florida after the shooting at my high school at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas in my hometown of Parkland when we passed the bipartisan bill, the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas School Safety Act, which was the largest policy response to a school shooting in American history. Your department also prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law a constituent of mine and former felon that had plans to kill me when he was picked up by law enforcement after he was target practicing in his backyard with 2 rifles, a scope, a silencer, 3,000 rounds of ammunition, an anti-Semitic manifesto. My name was the only name on their target list, and my kids found out about this from their friends at school. So thank you.
Well,
However, the most transparent administration in American history. Before Trump, we didn't know the word transparency, apparently. It's been 12 months since you gave Republican influencers part 1 of the Epstein files. You said the list was on your desk. Then a memo came out and said that there was no list. Phase 2 of the binders never happened. The President of the United States says the Epstein thing is a hoax. He blasts his own base for wanting the release of the files. He blamed Barack Obama. Republicans voted against the release of the files in the Rules Committee. Then they refused to even return to the Rules Committee until they could be protected from future votes on the release. Speaker Johnson sends Congress home a day early before break. They sent the Deputy Attorney General to meet with Maxwell. She says something favorable about the president. Miraculously, she gets transferred to
and I'm just going to keep it real. Yeah, what the Trump administration was doing with the Epstein files wasn't the best look. And I'll be real with you. This was the strategy. They knew it was going to be a distraction. It was going to take away from all the wins and take away from that. And they didn't want to release it for that reason. Now, you can argue, well, S.E.T, I mean, that's a pretty selfish reason not release it. And I agree. But this is one of the main reasons why I didn't want to release it, because, I mean, look at what it's doing. It's doing exactly what they predicted. Any W that they got is being overshadowed by the Epstein files. Now, you can agree with that or not. That's up to your own personal opinion. But this is the strategy behind why they didn't want the release of it. I mean, you could say, oh, no, it was for protecting the pedos. But, I mean, let's be real. They're on both sides. And but the main arguments that was coming from the Trump administration was that this would be a huge distraction.
Yeah. And it is. Like, that's all. They literally cannot do anything, or they could do whatever they want, I guess. Depends on how you see it. Because people have a one-track mind. They're not going to remember that, inflation is going down, crime is at this lowest point, that, the Epstein files themselves are actually released and out there. There's more coming, but border crossings are at an all-time low. The Republican, initiative to stop fraudulent voting with voter ID has overwhelming support. So yeah, this is completely, it's the Trump administration's, promise to the American people to release this stuff, and it is getting released. Funny how this never happened under the 4 years that Biden was president, when the same public interest was still out there. But
I get it. Hey, shout out to the man, my man, the lunatic libertarian. Trump is a moron. All systems are failed. And I mean, hey, man,
he doesn't participate in any systems. He shouldn't be worried about it anyway.
I mean, hey, it is what it is with that one. But shout out to my man, lunatic libertarian, bro. Appreciate the support.
Minimum security facility. No one can explain why. Miraculously, the leaks to the Wall Street Journal stopped. We come back from break. We have the Massey discharge petition. Republicans drop a rule, a non-binding resolution trying to kill the Massey discharge petition. The White House says passing the Massey discharge petition is a hostile act. Trying to stop the necessary 218 signatures, according to Republican members that signed it, the White House brought them into the Situation Room, the place where the president goes for time of war, promising things like appropriations or maybe even to primary them. People in the room say you were there. It didn't work. We get the 218 signatures. We eventually passed the Massey petition. You guys didn't release the files. You were forced by Congress, every member of the House except one, and the entire Senate. The reason the president signed it is because it was a veto-proof majority. We can't agree on anything, and yet the entire House but one member and the whole Senate forced the administration to release the file.
But here's the thing, though. It's like to say that, I mean, they were forced. They could have still voted no.
He could have vetoed it. It doesn't, just because it's veto proof does not mean he can't say, I don't want to sign this.
Yeah, it'd have been a terrible look. Of course, it'd have been the most terrible look ever, but yeah, he could have done it.
Everybody wants the files out. And he's sitting here grandstanding about some bill that they forced them to do it. He signed the executive order months ago, like within a month of him being in office.
No, and let's be real though. Trump was the one who ordered the Republicans to be like, no, all right, F it. Let's release it. No, I want all you guys to vote yes on it. And they all did. So if anything, I mean, in a way, he's kind of right though, because you guys, Trump did have to pretty much tell them, no, you guys are going to vote yes on this. Let's get it all out there. But let's not forget, Trump was the one who ordered it. And your guys' argument is that Trump is the one who's trying to hide it. But he's the one who literally demanded that the Republicans vote yes for the Epstein files to be released. All right.
Kash Patel under oath said to Senator Kennedy, the FBI is not in possession of any credible evidence that Epstein trafficked girls to anyone but himself. We know now that's not true. According to documents, Epstein had a worldwide sex trafficking ring. Girls from Poland, Czechoslovakia, Russia, Paris, modeling agencies sending him girls. He even had a relationship with a summer camp where he groomed girls at a picnic table.
Yeah.
Ghislaine Maxwell says 29 Epstein associates cut secret DOJ deals. Turns out there is a list. 6 names readily available if you unredact them. Co-conspirators named, but we got them when you unredact them. Maxwell recently tells a House Oversight Committee that she wants clemency to release more names. Kash Patel under oath said Trump's name appears less than 100 times in the files. We now know that's not true. Trump's name appears more times in the Epstein files than God's name appears in the book about God. Okay, by the way, this is the Trump Bible. Move over, King James.
I'm crying.
Trump's name also appears more times in the Epstein.
I'm sorry, that was fucked up, but it was a funny joke.
Hold on, let me fact check that real quick. Let me continue on.
Go ahead.
Epstein file,
I got you.
then Harry Potter's name appears in the 7 books about Harry Potter. Lutnick says that in 2008 he went to Epstein's home. Says he had a massage table.
God and Trump, right? That's what he's claimed so far.
Yeah, he pretty much saying that Trump's name is mentioned more time in the Epstein files than God is mentioned in the Bible. I was like, damn.
All right, let's see.
All right, well,
in the living room.
You get
but Epstein said he got one every day, that it was the right type of massage. He and his wife decide to leave and say they'll never be in a room with him again. Howard then says, I'm sure the Epstein stuff is all on video. He was the greatest blackmailer of all time. Well, how would Howard know that? But now the files are public. And in 2012, we find out that he and his family are on Epstein Island after
Hey, and shout out to my man Gaming for sending the 10 on Venmo. And like I said, anything you guys send to Venmo gets doubled. So he sent 10. So that's worth 20 toward the call in. So basically, that's a baller alert. Shout out to my man Gaming.
Epstein pled guilty to state charges. I'm from Florida. I take my family to Disney World, not to Epstein Island.
Bruh.
There are documents in the files that dispute the
right.
president's claim that he kicked Epstein out of his club. Allegedly, the president said that he asked Epstein to leave. Supported now that's disputed though, statements from the manager of the club. Now, Madam Attorney General, I have like 25 seconds left. So because I'm curious, and I'd like to see, flip to the Jared Moskowitz section of the binder. I'm interested to see what staff provided on the oppo on me. And because
right,
we're in
you
the
ready for
Olympics,
this?
I'm going to.
All right, go ahead.
So, Trump's name in the Epstein files, Donald Trump appears 1,432 times in the Epstein files. God in the Bible appears 3,800 times. Harry Potter, or Harry, appears 18,956 times.
Oh, wow. So
So
he was wrong.
every single one of those was a lie. Maybe
Dang.
you should come up with better gotchas, because lying that's easily verifiably false in less than 5 minutes.
And here's the thing. I mean, like, did you just include the New Testament or the complete Bible? Like, oh, they're new. No, I'm asking him. I think he just included the New Testament.
Oh.
Because that's the only way it would really make sense. If we're talking about the entire Bible, like, all right.
Yeah.
Give it a grade. I just want to see how good it is. So give me your best one.
So first of all, nothing is funny about mocking the Bible and holding up a
I'm
Trump
not
Bible.
mocking
That's
the
what
Bible.
you did.
That's the
You
best-
made a
that's the-
joke, and I find
No,
offense
I want
to
it,
that.
but
That's all I have to say.
I want it
It's
from
a
the burn
joke.
book.
Hold on,
I want it
pause.
from the burn book. Which
It's a joke, not a lie. In order for a joke to be funny, it has to be true. It is misleading and it's mischaracterizing and leading people to believe that Trump's name shows up 3,800 times or 20,000 times.
All right. And shout out to my man Jordan. He says, I like how there's no talk about Trump aiding the investigation around 2006 in the files, as well as telling them they need to go after Ghislaine. I mean, good point.
And
I mean,
that's
really
half
good
of what the
point.
files are. That's literally half of what his name is in the files, is him telling the FBI about all the things he does, or all of the things that are mentioned.
And Armand, we got quite the lengthy response for you, but shout out to my man Lunatic Libertarian. He says, I don't participate in systems doesn't make me wrong. Have you heard or read how this country was created, paramedic? The Federalist Papers? Where is your law, boy? Anarchy relies on the sacrifice of self to family and accountability till death. And well,
So literally the Federalist Papers talk against anarchy, you dumbass. But thanks for the $50.
I always do appreciate the support. And we are about, well, actually, no, I think that does hit the call-in line limit. So I will be posting the call-in line. Now, we'll still be reacting to this. So Lunatic Libertarian, if you guys are going to come up here, let's try to make it a little bit more civil and let's keep it on track.
Boy. Federalist
Thank you,
Papers.
Chairman.
May I have
guess you've
20
never read
seconds, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Let's hear the opposition research.
Thank you. That's absolutely right. That they're not running for, he's not running for office again because, well, I don't know why you're not running for office again, but after the filing deadline, you publicly announced you would not run when your chief of staff, Patty Garcia, announced and took your seat.
That's
I
a
believe
state matter.
Democrats
That
got
isn't a
angry
federal
about
matter.
that
You
as
should
well.
investigate
I
crimes.
believe
Time
Democrats
belongs-
got
you
angry
should
about that as
investigate
Time
well.
belongs to the gentleman
violations
from
of the law.
Texas. The time belongs to the gentleman from Texas.
No, that hurt his
A little
feelings.
flexibility on the time. I appreciate the chairman. Madam Attorney General, am I correct that under your leadership, the Department of Justice has prosecuted cases of non-citizen voting? So it's false, as some of my Democratic colleagues have claimed, that it doesn't happen.
Yes.
I ask that today because we're voting on the Save America Act today to enact common sense policies to ensure only American citizens vote in American elections and enact federal voter ID laws. But it's true, for example, that in just this month, a federal grand jury in Newark indicted two men with illegally voting in federal election and making false statements. Mohammed Mazamal and Mohammed Shakil were non-citizens at the time they registered to vote. This happens, it happens regularly, and you're prosecuting those crimes, correct?
Yes.
But does that prosecution of those criminals overturn their previously cast votes?
That's all pending.
But it does not overturn votes that they've cast, right? So passing the Save
no,
America
Congressman.
Act would help deal with that problem.
Yes, Congressman.
Second question. As Attorney General, you're in charge of the Executive Office of Immigration Review, correct?
Yes, Congressman.
The Biden-Mayorkas regime caused the immigration
Here we
court
go.
case backlog
Here
to
we go.
explode, correct?
Explode.
Does that sound about right that in September?
All right, shout out to my man Ham. He says Trump, Mar-a-Lago, and Melania, sorry. I don't know why I F that one up. But Melania names show up 38,000 times in the files. 5,000 files with his name at least once. Trump being an FBI informant is hilarious. Informants are part of the conspiracy. Okay, you got to be involved to be an informant.
Here we go. Pull that up real quick.
Gotcha. Oh, you mean you sent it in the private chat or
no? It's on stage. You just have to.
Oh, got you. Even better. There you go.
Donald Trump. Sorry, if you just look up Trump, or sorry, if you look up Donald Trump, it's 4,000 or 1,432 times. Just get rid of the thing because sometimes it's mentioned multiple times in one sentence or one page. That's what you get. 4,725. So more than God in the Bible. I guess he was right about that. But Donald Trump does not show up 38,000 times. Now. Melania, if I can fucking spell right. Melania. Did I spell that right? M-E-L-O-N-I-A?
M-E-L-A-N-A-N-I-A.
Oops. 98 times.
All right, not that much.
Now. So what are we at? 1,600? Mar-a-Lago. Let's just look up Mara because it'll pop up. 1,064 times. Oops, and that's not even
Maria. Oh, that's a bit tough one because it's bringing up different names. But all right,
bringing up other names.
Yeah, bring up other names.
How do you spell Mar-a-Lago? M-A-R-A-L-A-G-O.
All right. Well, shoot, you do that in the background. I got you. Let's get back to
42 times.
Oh,
nice try.
Not that much.
2020, 4 months before President Biden took office, there was a backlog of 1.5 million cases, but by the time to deal with that problem.
Yes, Congressman.
Second question. As Attorney General, you're in charge of the Executive Office of Immigration Review, correct?
Yes, Congressman.
The Biden-Mayorkas regime caused the immigration court case backlog to explode, correct?
Explode.
Does that sound about right that in September of 2020, 4 months before President Biden took office, there was a backlog of 1.5 million cases, but by the time President Biden left office, the backlog reached nearly 4.2 million cases?
Oh my God.
It sounds about right, but I don't have the exact numbers.
It would be accurate to say that most individuals who file for asylum have a meritless or fraudulent claim?
Thank you. I've been saying that for a while. Like, bro, these asylum claims, like, one, we didn't check up on them, and then some of these guys straight up lied just to get into here. And we just took it at face value. No investigation, no double checking, nothing. Just, oh my God, it's just so terrible in my country. Okay, welcome to America. And that's literally what we were doing with these guys.
Most. I don't have the numbers.
Oh, so does it sound correct that of the asylum cases adjudicated in FY 2023 under the Biden regime, that only 14% resulted in an asylum grant and only 12% in fiscal year 2024? Does that sound correct?
It sounds correct. I'm sorry, I don't have the numbers.
Could you get that information to us to
Yes,
verify
absolutely.
that data?
I'll get all that information to you.
Under the Trump administration, immigration judges complete an average of 65,000 cases per month, the highest average completion rate in at least a decade. Does that sound correct?
That sounds correct.
Hey,
Ms. Bondi, how many new cases under EO?
I would literally love to reach over the fucking screen and strangle half these people. Not that many times, LOL. You do realize like half of the things that reference Trump's name are just copies of other documents that reference Trump's name. And a quarter of those documents are just articles such as this one with Trump's name in the thing.
They ain't trying to hear that, Monty. They ain't trying to hear that.
Trump is a racist. Trump is a pedophile. Trump is this. It doesn't say anything like that in the Epstein files. It says Trump is reporting on suspected sexual predator Jeffrey Epstein.
IR received in
Christ.
fiscal year 2025 have you all had? And of those, what percentage have been granted asylum? Do you know?
I can try to get you those numbers. I thought I had those.
That'd be great, because my question is whether President Trump's decision to pause asylum in the wake of the shooting of a National Guardsman by an Afghani here in Washington, D.C., in the nation's capital, helped to stop the backlog in your office. Does that sound correct?
Yes, Congressman.
My point being that the leadership of this administration is ending the backlog, reducing the backlog, making sure that we don't have fraudulent asylum claims clogging it, and keeping Americans safe. Is that correct?
Yes, Congressman.
So a couple other quick questions on another important topic that has been raised by both colleagues on both sides of the aisle with respect to the Epstein case. A few questions. One, Jeffrey Epstein was charged in July 2019 for sex trafficking under the Trump administration in his first term. Is that correct?
Yes, Congressman.
And that Ghislaine Maxwell was charged in 2020 also under the Trump administration, correct?
Yes, Congressman.
So it is safe to say that the administration led on that issue and that there was silence in the previous administration. Is that correct?
Yes, Congressman. Almost
Hey, I
complete
want to
silence from
piggyback
everyone
off
who's
of
been
that.
Trying to still.
Go ahead.
So check this out. While under the Biden admin, they were asked on, I want to say at least 3 or 4 different occasions about what they were doing about the Epstein files. And it was the first half of Joe Biden's term. Jen Psaki was asked about it by CNN, Fox, MSNBC, and ABC News networks, and the BBC.
Bro,
You know what she said? You know what she said?
Mhm.
We'll circle back to that. And then the next day, when the same people asked the same questions, she hit us with a, we'll circle back to that. That's why the circle back thing became a meme. And then after Jen Psaki left, Jean-Pierre, her girlfriend or whatever, was asked about the same topic, and she literally dodged the question. The Biden administration did absolutely nothing about the Epstein files. They implicated Trump, but when pressed further, they cut it off. Which is interesting because according to the files, Trump is recommended as having given testimony about the whereabouts and the affairs of all of these high-profile individuals. Which, in case you guys don't know, and I'll let the video play after this. In case you guys don't know, Trump's name was actually redacted in the original files because they didn't want to implicate. He was a key whistleblower, and when he gave that permission, so like if you notice during like last year, he was like, "I don't care, release the files or whatever," and he was saying it was a hoax, and everybody was like, "What do you have to hide?" That's because the FBI was actually going back and forth in released communications or whatever. FBI was going back and forth with Trump over kind of, to give you Cliff Notes version, what the hell are you doing? He was like, well, I'm giving the people what they want. And it was like, yeah, but you're a key fucking witness. You'd end up ruining the case. I don't give a damn. It's pretty much how that conversation went. So they ended up unredacting his name.
All right, bro. All right. Shout out to my man Gaming, came in already cooking. Monty, you got anything to say to that though? I'm gonna give you a couple of minutes to reply.
I have one thing to say to the lunatic libertarian. He's asking me all these nominal questions about useless information. What's your BAC tonight?
Oh, damn. All right.
We'll just what's the frequency of a transvaginal ultrasound? What's the nominal range of a Mark 19? Fucking dumb ass shit.
Monty, BAC is ethanol.
No, what is his BAC tonight?
Yeah,
blood alcohol content.
Yeah.
I know. I'm saying it's just ethanol.
I'm done. Damn. All right, let's go.
It's just 1.0.
We'll talk about it.
God damn. All right.
Yes, Congressman, almost complete silence from everyone who's been trying to still talk about Epstein. They didn't say a word under the Biden administration. Nothing.
And I want to make one other point and then another question, though, that is important. I want to make one observation, and that is that we've heard the information today, which is troubling, that Jane Doe's, that victims' information was made public and was unredacted in the files that were released on Friday. So my question is, some of us had argued when we were dealing with the discharge petition in Congress, that when Congress inserted itself into the process, that we needed to be very careful to ensure that we were protecting victims. So a question that is both, I just want to make that clear that some of us were fighting for that here, and we didn't get a chance to amend it or change it. So that was concerning. But a question a little more pointed, I have to say, is why, though, were the victims' names released that shouldn't have been? That there were names in the files, that these Jane Does, that their names shouldn't have been made public when there were some accusers whose names were redacted. That's question one. And question two was that Ghislaine Maxwell was put in jail for trafficking minors. Rightly so, and you properly said here at this table, you hope she dies in jail. Well, I want to know, will anyone besides her or Epstein, which I congratulate President Trump's previous administration and this Department of Justice for continuing all of that, but that they were indicted, but will anyone else be indicted and prosecuted under this, given the information that's in front of us? So two questions.
Good question.
Thank you for letting me answer that. They didn't want to hear my answer on the other side. Yes, given the tight time frame of 30 days, I believe we got everything released within a little over 60 days. I'm talking as fast as I can. My time is up. We did the best we could immediately. If everyone's been coming to view the documents, if someone's name should not have been redacted, we're releasing it. If someone's name was redacted, we said right away, was not redacted and should have been, meaning a victim. We went back and redacted it. We're doing everything we can based on the tight time frame and over 3 million pages that we released that Donald Trump signed for pure transparency. Second, what was your second question?
About whether another individual will be indicted.
Absolutely. Thank you for asking that. And they never wanted to hear the answer to that. We have pending investigations in our office.
I mean, you get that guy, Leslie Wexner, and we'll look, I believe you. But right now, it's a little bit tough. I want to believe it, but right now, I think everybody in this panel is in a bit of a disbelief when it comes to further prosecutions.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to look at it. They're kind of slow to drag their feet. Now, if they can move a bit quicker, I mean, the way that I would believe it is if they start handing out subpoenas. They start issuing appearance notice, writs of certiorari. If they start slinging them out, then yeah, they really on that type of timing. Then I'll believe them. But until I see some subpoenas go out, till I see some FOIA requests goes out, till I see some FISA warrants go out, something like that, then nah, I'm not gonna believe them.
What you think, Monty?
I mean, I have absolutely zero faith in any Justice Department. The only reason that this has even come out, barring that we have a president that's willing to let it happen, is because there is so much scrutiny from the public that it's just political suicide not to.
Yep.
All right, we got Chad who came in here. I think this is my man Ham. Yo, what's going on, bro? What's your thoughts?
What's up, boys?
What's up?
What up? I've never met you before, but hi.
Hi.
Yo, I just wanted to correct Monty on the files for Trump on Epstein, man. There's 5,000 in there.
I'll go ahead and mute myself now. I know where this is going.
So, do you know how to spell Donald Trump?
No, do you understand that? Wait, hold on, Monty. What did I say? His name, Melania Mar-a-Lago, show up 38,000 times.
We literally just went through.
Hey, Monty, let me explain it to you, because obviously you don't understand the way that the search engine works, my man. So let me explain it to you quickly. I said 38,000 times. The name pops up. That's unique. That's not each individual file. When you go to that search engine, it showed 4,800 times the name Trump showed up, right? That was 4,800 files, not 4,800 times his actual name shows up.
Every time Donald Trump's name is uttered, that's the hair you want to split?
No, bro, I'm telling you, you call me a liar, and
liar. It was verifiably false. If
no, it's not.
A liar,
you don't understand the way it works.
I don't.
Is it 4,800 files or not?
It is 4,800 files.
Okay, so I was right.
His name is mentioned. If my name is at the top and the bottom of a file, are you going to count that twice?
Yes.
then you're dumb.
No, you're stupid.
You're
You don't
just
understand it. I said
you're
his name
being
shows up
hyperbolic
38,000
for the
times
sake of
within the
being
files.
hyperbolic. You're being hyperbolic for the sake of being hyperbolic.
No, you said it. You said it was wrong. It wasn't wrong.
It is
And
wrong.
okay, here's the thing. Set that aside, Monty. Is how many times is okay? Once, twice, 10, 20? How many times do you want your president's name to show up in the Epstein files?
How many times
Answer
do you want
it.
your president's name to show up in hold on.
Zero.
Hold on. Wait.
Wait. So I have a question. Wait, well, but while you're getting that, let me ask you a question. What's your
All right,
name?
I'm gonna give this conversation 10 minutes. Go ahead.
All right, what's your name?
Chad.
Chad? Okay. So Chad, I got a question. If in the event, now I'm on the neutral, I'm a truly neutral side. It's like, yeah,
So
I'm on the
0 times is too many, right?
I didn't say 0 times is too many. You said how many do I want?
Yeah, how
0
many
would
you
be perfect.
Cool.
Hold up.
So
So
zero
let
is
me
too
ask
many, right?
let me ask my question before you go in. So I'm on the side that he's on an FBI informant, but if he is found guilty, then hey, let the bullets land where they may. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where I'm at with it. If it is proven, let's just sweep all this let's sweep all this under the rug. If it can be proven within the next 6 or so minutes, or some point during the live, and Trump was basically referred to as an informant or is alluded to as an informant, would you concede the point that his name being in there isn't just a default omission of guilt? Because what we have to remember, we have to remember, and I've seen several YouTubers say this, I even seen S.E.T say it, and it clearly goes over people's heads, and I need people to stop not taking this into consideration.
Can you get to the point already? Because he's
shut up. I'm getting to it. People are forgetting that just because your name is in there doesn't automatically mean you're guilty, and I need people to really take that into consideration.
That way, though.
Well, it needs to be addressed over and over and over.
Oh shit! My name shows up in 62 files. Does that mean I'm a pedophile?
Right. I have a common name. There is a very high likelihood that my name.
Now I do want Chad to respond, bro, because I mean I'm pretty sure Chad might be a bit lost. But Chad, you still keeping up with the conversation? Not saying that you're slow, but you know.
Can I please respond to what he said to me?
I think that gaming was going at Chad. So I mean, Chad, do you have anything to say? Or you good?
Well, no, I was gonna say I agree.
Okay.
I wasn't going at Chad directly. I was just putting that out there because I don't want the assumption to be like anybody's name in there is a omission of guilt.
All right. Go ahead, Monty.
So, as I was saying, if you're literally doing this just to be disingenuous, then sure, I'm sure the name Trump pops up 38,000 times or whatever the hell you said it pops up. Who cares? Who really fucking cares? Like, why are you making? Because let's look through the files that say Trump. Oh, this is a news article. Oh, this is Trump talking to the police about Jeffrey Epstein, reporting him. Oh, this is Trump fucking another copy of another thing that's been mentioned twice in the same file. So duplication of documents, all that fun shit. Repeated over and over again. Here's one talking about how Biden and Trump's presidential debate. Like, what does that mean? It means absolutely nothing. A high-profile person's name is mentioned in an online news article. A high-profile person's name who's been the subject of fucking ridiculous fucking accusations that have all been proven false is in the files. No shit, dude.
All right.
All right. So obviously a news article is innocuous. Wait, Monty, I didn't interrupt you, so just be quiet for a second. So listen to me.
That number. Acknowledge that.
Yes, his name is okay. His name being in there 38,000 times is as a result of his 53,000 different files I believe he's contained in. And is every
How is
single
he-
one of
wait,
those
how is
files,
his name in
Monty,
the
let me
48,000?
answer. Is
How
every
is
single
his-
one of those files,
No,
is every single one of those
You
files
literally
an
can't even do
accusation
math.
of guilt?
How is his name in
Monty,
the 38,000
shut
times?
your mouth, dude.
He's in 58,000
Oh my
files.
Hold on,
God.
you gotta let him
How is
finish.
his name
This
in
is
there
this is
38,000
stupid, dude.
times, but he's in 50,000 files? Make that make sense.
Are you gonna let me answer?
He's in there 0.07% of his name's not even all the way spelled out. How does that work?
Monty, explain to me all the files that he's in the FBI report lines, right? All the
Where he's
FD
literally an
350s.
informant,
How
yes.
about the limo driver that heard him talking about sexually assaulting victims? How about all the
So hearsay.
the victims? How about all the victim statements that are in there? Okay. Now I'm not saying that he's guilty. All I'm saying is that, hold on, guys. All I'm saying is this: we know they were best friends for 10 years. We know that. Why Epstein was up to this shit. So don't put on rosy colored glasses and act like he was
Buddy,
totally not anywhere close to it.
You're failing so hard to prove anything. You're reaching now. Because now
How am I reaching? How is it reaching and say they're best friends when there's pictures with each other? They're at Mar-a-Lago.
That is in the files. Have you read the files?
Yes.
Or are you just fucking repeating what CNN and fucking dumbass?
I don't, dude. I don't watch CNN. I've read the files. Are you saying that they weren't friends, Monty? Monty, were they not friends?
You've read them all?
Were they not friends?
No, they weren't friends.
Oh, they weren't friends. Bro, you have your head in the sand. Obviously, there's pictures where they're together. They're out, they're socializing together.
Hold on.
Are you just gonna totally ignore all of that?
I have a picture of me with the governor of North Carolina. Does that mean we're friends?
Do you have 10,000 pictures with them?
Is there 10,000 pictures of Trump?
Yeah.
No, there's not.
Yeah, okay, listen to me.
Quit being hyperbolic.
They were both in New York. They were both in Palm Beach together, Monty. Why are you don't think that they were being best friends when they were exchanging the check for a lightly used girlfriend? You don't think that he wrote happy birthday wishes to the guy? You have to be honest.
Like you're literally.
It doesn't mean that. Listen,
things that CNN says. No. Stop. You're making yourself.
No. Okay. So here's the thing. Is it weird for an old dude to be into young models? Just generally speaking, Monty, do you think that's like something strange?
Is it strange as in it doesn't happen? No, it's absolutely completely fucking common. Have you not been paying attention?
What does that? I don't know if it being common means that it's strange or a
literally
or a weird
that's the
thing.
Opposite of strange, my guy. Strange
means
unusual. Usual being the key word.
So so being a pedo, like obsessed with like young girls being usual?
Hold on now. I do think we need to find out some information before we go off on this tangent. Like we need to find out. Whoa. We need to find out now which files mention Trump in terms of his involvement in the investigation and which files mention Trump's outside of that investigation for us to get a true number of Trump's involvement outside of the investigation.
I agree. I agree 100% with you, Set. I'm just saying, are you like, I don't understand how anyone can say that they weren't friends.
You're so misunderstood. Why are you repeating that? You've been proven wrong.
How are you proving me wrong, Monty? Because you said it's not true.
Now they were friends. They were friends. We have to sit there and use the word were.
Yes. And I feel like if you can't admit to that, then the whole thing is disingenuous.
It is disingenuous. Find me proof that Donald Trump sexually assaulted a child. Find me the proof.
I didn't say that. Monty?
Until then, shut up.
Monty, I didn't say that. You're the one that's saying they weren't friends.
When Jeffrey Epstein was arrested, they weren't friends. Fucking back in 2006 when he was turning him in, they weren't friends.
How about 1998?
1998, I wasn't even fucking alive, so I don't.
So you don't know. So just because you weren't alive, you don't. So you just haven't done the research, I guess. Then Monty, this is the point, man. You're ignoring the facts. You're ignoring the facts
that are hyperinflated just to make your point, and it's fucking stupid. How many times? No.
You only got 45 seconds.
Stop. How many times has it been fucking copied and pasted where there's fucking redacted and then unredacted and it's fucking 2 copies, doubling the amount of time something shows up? But the fact that it says 38,000 times and everybody wants to fucking hinge their fucking hat on that like it means a goddamn thing, when fucking half of them are news articles about someone. I can't help that someone writes a news article about me and fucking later on it's quoted.
Monty, you don't know if they're news articles or not, so stop saying that.
I do. I literally just fucking went through it right on screen.
You went through 5,000 files.
No, I didn't go through 5,000 files, but I went through fucking the first 30, and they're all fucking news articles. And then you go through the next 30, and there's copies of those news articles because it's been.
There's no way you just went through.
Shut
no
up.
way, dude. You did
Shut
not
up.
go through
And
65.
All
You ready
righty,
for this,
gentlemen. I gave you guys a good 10 minutes
Nope,
to go
nope,
back
nope,
and
nope.
forth on it. No.
I
We're gonna
got
go
you.
straight to the video because that's what the audience wants. I mean, you can come in a little bit later, but at least let this video finish because we'll probably get into a different topic. But let's keep it pushing, guys.
All right.
Delay is recognized.
Thank you. I seek unanimous.